Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and of course tonight we are joined by none other than Isiah, and you are watching another episode of Chillin' with Isiah and Ace. So, Isiah, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. I had an unfortunate incident a couple of hours ago that was very, very uncomfortable. I'm not going to share it on the air because I've already been embarrassed enough. And then I get home and then my phone does it, or my computer takes so slow to load the home screen. And here I am doing the show. Like, I started doing podcasting, and I was doing it in my garage with the nice table, and then I'm doing it on my phone. So we're going back to the old setup that we have here. It's great to throw it back to the old times, but it was a great Thursday night football game. Can't wait to talk about it here as part of our topics.
Absolutely. And you know what? Since this is our second episode of kicking it with Isiah and Ace, so just for those of you who did not see last week, so yes, we do start out basically with the Thursday night game, but if people are on here strictly just to listen to sports topics, that's not what this show is. Yeah. Like, we do come out, we do talk about sports, okay, we will hit a few sports topics, but we have so many more topics that we talk about. That's why we call it Chilling with Isiah and Ace, because it's just all kinds of random topics. But tonight, we actually have our very first special guest. Our other special guest couldn't make it, but prayers out to him. He's got some family stuff going on, so thoughts, prayers, condolences to him. But let's welcome in our special guest tonight, and welcome in Mr. Crispy Bacon. So, Crispy Bacon, pop up on the screen. Welcome in, my man.
Hey, glad to be on.
All right, and then of course, welcome Casey King. He's our first viewer to pop up tonight. All right, so we know what's first. We always start with that Thursday night game. We always do, and what a doozy it was! I'll tell you what, it did not disappoint. I figured this was going to be a good game. I figured it was. I was kind of hoping Russell Wilson would have been able to stay in the whole game because he's my fantasy quarterback, so kind of hurt a little bit. It kind of hurt inside, and it kind of hurt on the fantasy scoreboard, but that's okay. But Casey King, though, is telling you, Isiah, he's counting on your 49ers this weekend to beat the Cardinals. So we'll start out with what's your thoughts on that, Isiah?
Well, this is going to be the start this is going to be the game that gets the Trey Lance hype train rolling. This is his first game starting in the NFL, and he's gonna be up against a pretty challenging test. He's got to go up against J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones on the defensive line. So thankful that Trent Williams, the 49ers stalwart left tackle, he is back. Because without him, Trey Lance will be looking like Justin Fields running for his life. So it's great to have him back. Can't wait to see how Trey Lance fares against the Arizona Cardinals, who, let's face it, guys, their defensive line is really good. Their linebacking corps is really good. But their secondary is not that good. So if you can throw the ball deep, you can attack that secondary and expose that secondary. So I think that Trey Lance on Sunday will definitely make the Bay Area Trey area.
And you know what? I thought I was going to be able to escape one freaking show without having to listen to Trey Lance talk. I seriously thought I was going to be able to escape one show, but I can't do that. I still can't escape one show without you talking about Trey Lance. But with that, though, we got to jump into this awesome Thursday night game, which we saw, that the Rams were able to pull off the victory. And let me say, when Geno Smith first entered the game, the first couple drives, he actually didn't look that bad. He actually did not look bad in his first couple drives. But then the pressure got to him, and even that last interception, that wasn't on him. The receiver fell down, so that definitely was not on him on that one. At first, when he threw that interception, and I'm watching him like, who is that to? I don't completely understand. But then when I looked at the replay, I'm like, oh, okay, he fell down. That makes sense now. So yeah, that completely wasn't on him. But Matthew Stafford, had a decent game. Aaron Donald, congratulations to him, the all-time sack leader for the Rams now. Aaron Donald, awesome. Possibly the best defensive player in all of football. I've said it before. But Isiah, what was your thoughts on this Thursday night game?
Well, I watched like the entire second half of that game because, I was stuck in that uncomfortable incident that I was in. So I basically had nothing to do besides watching that game. And Ace, shout out to you for sending me that link of that game, because I don't know what I would have done if, I didn't have some football for me to watch. So thank you very much for that. This game, first of all, it pretty much confirmed what I think a lot of people have thought for the last couple of years, and that is DK Metcalf might be the best wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, this guy is an absolute monster. He can go up and catch the football when you're draped all over him. You can't, you can't guard this man just one-on-one. You have to put at least 2 or 3 guys on this man. He is an absolute monster. He's an absolute stud, and he balled out today. I mean, poor Jalen Ramsey went up against him thinking, hey, I'm one of the best corners in this league, and I can cover him one-on-one, and the guy literally shoved him out of the way for his first touchdown. So DK Metcalf, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver in the NFL, and for me, it hurts to say because I'm a Niners fan. I absolutely hate the Seattle Seahawks and anything affiliated with the Seattle Seahawks. But he truly is the best wide receiver in the NFL. The second thing that I gotta say is, Matthew Stafford, Ace. Remember how I think it was after week 3 when the Rams were 3-0 and their offense was high flying and they were just scoring points at will. Matthew Stafford and this Rams offense, Ace, I think they're coming back down to earth, because have you seen their last couple of games? They've struggled against Arizona, whose secondary is they're poorest. I know they've gotten better, but they still are poorest. And now you struggle against Seattle, who coming into this year, and besides last week's game and this week's game, Seattle's defense has not been good whatsoever, and you struggle against them for the first half of the game and then into the third quarter. I think everybody should hold up on declaring this Rams offense as, oh my God, this Rams offense is so good and this and that. Hold off on that, please. Hold off on that. I think teams are beginning to figure out how to defend this LA Rams offense. And the last takeaway I had from this game is if Russell Wilson, his finger injury makes him miss a couple of games or one game, the Seattle Seahawks, I don't know, man. They might be in some trouble, because this man is the one that makes this offense and makes this team click.
So let me tell you this really quick, Isiah. So you're sitting here and you're talking about how, this offense of the Rams is struggling the last 2 weeks. You remember the teams you just said? Do you remember the teams you just said? Number one, you just threw out there the Arizona Cardinals, the only team left in the entire NFL that is completely undefeated. The only team left. So obviously they're doing something right. So it's okay that their offense struggled against the Cardinals, because this Cardinals team, they're good. They're good. They're 4-0 for a reason. That's what, and it's a divisional game. And it's a divisional game. So the Cardinals know all about the Rams. The Seahawks know all about the Rams. It's divisional games. So I expect these games to be that good. And they were. And they did not disappoint. But Chris, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say that, I agree that Russell Wilson makes the team, but, Russell Wilson also knows how he feels in these games. And I feel like he's going to play next week, no matter, unless it's really bothering him. I think he's going to play.
Oh,
I don't
he'll
want to see
play.
him sitting out unless it really, bothers him and pain medicine doesn't help.
Oh, he'll play. He'll definitely
Yeah.
play. But remember this. I'm telling you this though. If Russell Wilson is not quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, the Seahawks are not relevant. They're not relevant. They're not.
No.
They're not even a playoff team. If Russell Wilson's not on that team, they are not a playoff team. I'm telling you that now.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So welcome in Brandon Herrera, who's saying, "What's up?" Looks like Isiah finally came out of the trunk. He did. So you didn't even have to mention it. Somebody else did. And then Brandon saying, wait. Isiah telling people to hold off on their takes on Rams. Well, Isiah should worry about his takes on one of his 1,000 team he's a fan of. Exactly.
Well, but this, we talk about the reason why the Rams have struggled, right? The Rams offense have struggled. It's because it's going up against divisional opponents like the Seahawks and the Cardinals, who know a lot about what Sean McVay likes to do. Well, that lends more credibility to my take that the San Francisco 49ers defense could stop this Rams offense, because Kyle Shanahan, like I've been trying to tell you, Ace, every time they play against Sean McVay, I know it was against Jared Goff, but he and the Niners defense always suffocates this Rams offense. So I am more confident than ever the 49ers, whenever they play the Rams, will stuff this Rams offense.
All right. Well, Casey King is still saying Rams still won. Isiah.
Yeah.
Stafford still put up 365 yards. And he did. And Robert Woods put up like 150. And Cooper Kupp put up 94.
The most important stat is the wins, really. I mean, yeah, they struggled, but you still won that game. You found a way to win.
Absolutely. That's what winners do. They find ways to win. But how about we go ahead and jump on to our next topic? And this is an interesting topic. Isiah, when I saw this on Facebook, I tagged you. And that's why I tagged you, because I'm like, what is this? What has this world come to that we have to? But then I started thinking, I'm like, is this something that Isiah would do? Like, I seriously started thinking about this. I started thinking, is this something that Isiah would actually try? Because, you started talking about how you wanted to try and fit in a trunk, and for various reasons. But so
way to wrap me out, Ace.
I know. So when I started watching this, I'm like, is this something that Isiah would do? So anyway, this video I'm talking about, and Chris, I don't know if you saw this or not, but this is a wild video. So I immediately tagged Isiah, and basically what it was like a bunch of people that were standing out front of a fence, right? Well, inside this fence, they had like a locked-in little fence thing, and people dressed up like sheeps, and they had these bells on their neck, and they were all in sheep costumes.
I think I saw something, but yeah.
And yeah, they were all in sheep costumes, and they were going around going bah, bah, bah. And we're like, what in the world is going on? And these people are like trying to walk on all fours. They're looking at the grass, and I'm like, are these guys legitimately going to eat the grass right now? It's like, are these guys actually dressed up like freaking sheep? I couldn't even figure out. I'm thinking, I'm like, what has the world come to? Why are they dressed? What? Isiah, can you explain this to me? What is the point of this whole group of people dressing up like sheep with bells around their neck and people watching them?
Well, I don't know if the video took place in Ireland, because I do know that the Irish have some sort of tradition that on, I believe, New Year's Day, they have a lot of these animals gathered in a barn, and then they put like bells and whistles on them. So I was guessing that it might be that these people were trying to, replicate what the tradition was. But like you said, Ace, I really don't know. I don't know like what they were doing. It seemed funny and it seemed cute though, what they were doing, because like you had, like Ace said, you had a couple people that were dressed up as sheep trying to eat the grass, and I was like, there's no way that person is actually going to eat the grass. Like, there's absolutely no way that's going to happen. And then you had other people. I think you had I think there were people dressed as cows too, right? Ace, there was like a
Yeah.
someone. There was like a brown cow, like in that video with some sheep. And I'll say this, like even though it was like kind of wacky and funny, it was pretty cute though. I'll give them credit for that.
How? I don't understand. What did you like about it? It was just like one of the craziest videos. All right. So Chris, you were gonna say something though.
No, I was gonna say not that particular video, but I saw like on national news or something like that, maybe about a year ago, a guy dressing up, doing something like that, but it was like a research project, living among like goats or something like that to figure out how they live. I don't know, but
No, I get that. But these people were dressed up in their freaking costumes and walking inside like a fence and with a bell around their neck. And they're and they're like, nah, like freaking sheep. And I'm like, what? I was like, what?
Was it for some sort of play? That's what I'm wondering. Like, was it like a town play that they were doing this for? That's the only explanation I could find.
A town play for people to dress up like sheep?
No. Like it's like a town like play or a town theater type of a thing where like they're dressing up as sheep and they're trying to play a scene. That's like the only type of explanation that I have for this video.
I don't know. I'm telling you, that's why I tagged you though when I saw that video, because it completely threw me off. And welcome in. So Christy Wilson's here, Brandon Herrera's here, Dave Kokensparger's here. He's saying wolves and sheep's clothing. You have William Hudson who's here. Evening, gentlemen. Evening, William. Hope you're having a great night. And then Brandon Herrera saying it was a family reunion. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, it definitely wouldn't shock me because, I don't know. I've just been, ever since I watched that video, I tried to figure it out. I did. I tried to figure it out. And so, Crispy Bacon?
Yes.
William Hudson has a question.
Okay.
He wants to know, he's curious, what's on the wall behind you?
Oh, it's a bunch of like pictures, Dallas Cowboy pictures, and footballs that were signed.
Of course, and it's got to be about the Cowboys, of course.
Some of them are just Cowboy, but it's kind of a mixture.
Thanks, Garrett. Garrett, first time in a while I've seen you on our show, so thanks, man. This is really bad. So thank you for that, Garrett. It's great to see you. And then Christy Wilson. All right, absolutely. So that it is bacon afterwards. I mean, it could be, but
hey, I got an idea. Remember how we were talking about maybe doing like a show for Halloween where everybody dressed up in costumes and talk sport? Why don't we just do that? Everybody dressed up as a sheep or a cow or whatever animal they want, and we can just sit here. It's gonna be like a human farm. That's what it is.
Don't forget about the bell around your neck. You have to have the bell around your neck. You have to. But now, speaking of Halloween, that can actually transition us into our next topic, which is Halloween candies. Because I'll tell you, as a kid, I loved Halloween. I loved the candy part of Halloween. Who doesn't like Halloween candy? I mean, I think everybody does. And even when my kids go trick-or-treating, I try and get them a little extra so they can kind of give me a little bit of that candy afterwards, right? So, right. Chris, think back when you first started trick-or-treating as a kid and everything else. What is one thing that you really enjoyed getting on Halloween that you look forward to? Your favorite Halloween candy?
I like the Reese's peanut butter cups.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
I like the Hershey's chocolate bars. Trying to think of others.
Oh, there's plenty of others. So, yeah, but what was interesting was I think it was like maybe 3 years ago. I took my kids trick or treating, and we went by this one house. It's kind of interesting because they weren't giving out candy; they were giving out bottles of water. And I was like, yeah, they were actually giving out bottles of water. Yeah. And so I was like, what's with this? And like, well, we figured, all the kids are kind of walking around, they're getting thirsty or whatever. So we figured instead of giving out candy, we give out bottles of water. They're like, they got to stay hydrated, right?
I would have gave out candy and the bottle of water, but
I don't know. They came up with bottled water. But like, I'm a big fruit snack guy. Like, I love me some fruit snacks.
fruit snacks
So
are good, yeah.
if I can get fruit snacks, man, you have completely made my day. Or Snickers. Like, I'm a huge Snickers guy. I love Snickers, man. I love Snickers. But before we get to Isaiah quick, I want to give a shout out to Mr. William Hudson here. So William Hudson, him and his buddy Ben Bowman actually run a show. They are the Brew Bros, and you can actually catch them as they are part of Top Rope Collectibles also. They have outstanding stuff that they sell every single week. So check them out. A lot of great autographs. If you're a wrestling fan, you can get all your wrestling stuff from William Hudson and Ben Bowman. Check them out on Facebook. All right, so Christy Wilson is saying that her favorite, trying to think. I'm completely drawing a blank here. Her favorite, give me a hand here, guys. Like what? No, not. I'm not talking about the candy. The favorite holiday. Yes, thank you. Her favorite holiday is Halloween, and why not? And then Dave saying, that candy is given free. That's his favorite part. Brandon Herrera saying Butterfingers. Now we can come to Christy Wilson saying Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and mini Milky Way bars are my faves. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, man, that's so good right now.
I also like the Butterfingers, like Big B was saying, Brandon was saying.
Oh yeah, the Butterfingers are so good.
Oh, so William Hudson is actually saying that he does that too. He gives out Capri Suns cold from the cooler. I like it.
Yeah.
Ace, let me ask you, when your kids got the water bottles, was that part of you remember I think it was 5 years, 6, 7 years ago where everybody was trying to be healthy and eat healthy and stuff like that. I think you and Chris remember that time. Yeah. And, people were big into healthy foods and stuff. Was that at that time when your kids got the water bottles? Because I remember when I didn't get it, but I remember a couple of friends telling me that when they went trick-or-treating, they got carrot sticks, celery sticks, and one guy even got it was carrot sticks, celery sticks, and one guy even got a whole bowl of salad too, in his trick-or-treat bag. And I'm like, really? People are actually giving that out?
Why not? Well, Isaiah, you never mentioned your favorite candy though for trick or treating.
All right, so my favorite candy. I just want to warn you guys before I go or before I give my candy that I've only been trick or treating 3 times in my entire life out of the 23 years that I've been alive on this planet, because my parents weren't really big into Halloween and trick or treating, so I didn't actually start trick or treating until I was actually the first time I went trick-or-treating was when I was 18 years old, believe it or not. That was the first time I ever went trick-or-treating was when I was 18 years old and I was already an adult. But my favorite type of candy that I've got, Hershey's milk chocolate, and shout out to some of the neighbors that we have across the street. They don't give you the mini Hershey bars, they actually give you the regular size. Yeah, or the king size ones. Yep, those are so good. Shout out to them. The Reese's peanut butter cups is another one. I'm trying to think. Butterfingers, another one.
How about
What's that sweet and sour type of candy that is in a circle and it's all different colors? You guys know what I'm talking about? It's in a.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Oh, is it sour tarts? Something like that? Sour tarts?
A sweet tart?
Sweet tarts, yeah, sweet tarts. Okay. Yeah, those are good, and I would say probably Sour Patch as well. You know, like the little people candy. Yeah, all those are one of my favorites.
So Nate is saying Reese's and M&M's are his favorite. Then William Hudson is saying Nerds candy is awesome. Nerds are awesome. Like my kids, they eat Nerds like crazy. And then Christy Wilson was also talking about Snickers. And then William is actually saying that in Tampa Bay it's about 85 degrees when it comes around to trick or treating. So he says it's kind of hot when you go trick or treating. So you need that little bit of drinks there. Now Nate is actually saying he got cupcake once. So my question on that for cupcakes is I'm really hoping that you got the cupcakes in a package like the Hostess or something, because if somebody baked one and they want to give it, I would not take that, because there's no way I would trust anything like that. I have to get something that's in a wrapper or package or something, or I'm not going to trust it. And then of course,
I was going to say where like the ones were in, not the Hostess, but like cupcakes you would get in like a container.
Oh yes, yeah.
Those.
So William is also saying 23. I've got sneakers that are older, and it's crazy how you went trick or treating for the first time at the age of 18. That is, man, and you even do weirder stuff now. So I'm still trying to figure it out, man. I'm
my kid at heart.
So Garrett saying Twix, and then William saying Sweet Tarts or Sprees. Tim Field are saying Dots, and then we have Sour Patch Kids, Twix. And then Imy's here saying, hey guys, watching from work, almost off, yay, 30 minutes. Brandon, me too. And then William saying, I've grown, unfortunately, because they're sitting here and they're talking about Halloween and everything else. And Nate's like, not packaged. I only ate one because I knew the person. Well, I guess if you know the person, you trust them, it's different. But I don't know. It's still a little sketch for me. But here comes my favorite. And I could not wait to hear this from you, Isaiah. This is one question I've really been waiting to ask you. And I'm glad that you're about to answer this question today. Because so far, I've seen you do a lot of weird stuff that is like, I'm like, why are you even trying that? Like, you can't escape. You cannot escape this Trump thing, man. You can't. Brandon brought it up first. He's the one who brought it up. So you can't escape this. But anyway, because who gets locked in a trunk for an hour and 40 minutes?
It was actually an hour and 50 minutes.
Okay, an hour and 50 minutes. My bad. An hour and 50 minutes. But anyway, tell me, what is something that, you might want to do, but you're like afraid of? What is something that you're afraid of?
Ooh, something that I'm afraid of?
Oh, yeah, or scared to do, man.
Ooh, wow. I'm kind of like, our guy, our fearless leader, Randy Cox. I'm just like, there's really like, I don't know. It's a very interesting question. Probably skydiving. I always wanted to do it because I've seen people on videos jumping off buildings, jumping off bridges, jumping off the airplane in the air. And it looks really cool on the video. And you're like, wow, I really want to do it. I want to get that adrenaline flowing. But then, when you're actually on that edge of the airplane, right? When you're at the edge of the airplane, you're strapped to a parachute, and you're looking down. I've seen some of those videos, looking down, and you see the whole the rest of the earth on below you. You're just like, dang, I can't do it. I can't do it at all. So that would probably be me. If I ever was pulled onto an airplane to go skydiving, I probably would not be able to even have the confidence to jump off that airplane. I probably just wouldn't be able to do it.
You know what? And I don't blame you there. I value life too, and I know that the wife's always been wanting to go skydiving, and I've kind of wanted to try it, but I'm afraid to try it. I really am. But so William Hudson, going back to what we were saying before, he said, when I was running stores, people would bring me plates of food from their house all the time that they would cook. I was always terrified of it, and it always went in the trash no matter how much I liked them.
Ace, I got a funny story about that, since William brings up stores and food, stuff like that. So this was 2 Halloweens ago. This was 2 Halloweens ago, and me and my friends, we had trick or treated at our neighborhoods, and there was, we had finished trick or treating at our neighborhoods. So what we decided to do was we decided to go to the nearby stores and restaurants and go trick or treat there and ask them if they would give us some free stuff. We went to 7-Eleven. We went to McDonald's. We went to KFC. And I'll tell you this, I've only been trick-or-treating 3 times in my life. And the wildest and most wackiest thing that I've ever gotten trick-or-treating was when we went to KFC, they gave each of us, there were me and 2 other people, they gave all 3 of us each a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like, it was amazing. A whole bucket of chicken for all 3 of us. Each one of us got it. Plus, we got like mac and cheese and mashed potatoes as well. I don't know if they were going to dump all of that stuff because I do know the store was like closing soon, but it was awesome, man. We got like pretty much a whole meal that you would probably have to pay like $20 for, and we got it for free on Halloween night.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That would be great. I mean, I think the luckiest I've got around here was, some pizza places, they give out these miniature pizzas. They're not big one, but they give out like these little miniature ones that are maybe like 4 slices or something like that. It's pretty common around here. You go to a pizza joint around here, and that's kind of what they do. They call it like kids pizzas. Obviously, adults can't get them, but they give them to the kids. And so Christy was talking about the skydiving. She's afraid of that. Brandon is also saying, and we have not forgot about this, your little Booker tattoo that you were supposed to get that you still haven't done yet. So that's still there, and you still haven't done that. And then William is asking, did you just call Dragon Viper our fearless leader? Did you just call him our fearless leader?
You didn't notice that, Ace? I did.
I did not notice that. I did not catch it. And William caught it, but I did not catch that. Interesting.
I was surprised when I said it that you and Chris didn't just burst out laughing.
I didn't catch it. I didn't. And then Christy's saying, yes, you did. And then Dave Cook saying, most places, as a rule, that first jump is a tandem jump. And so a tandem jump, that wouldn't be so bad. But Isaiah, this may not be something that you probably don't know about me, but one thing that I'm petrified of, just scared of. All right. I am a big arachnophobe, man. I am petrified of spiders. Petrified. I hate spiders, dude. Like, every time I see a spider, I will freak out. It's like, so Isaiah, we all know that we have this thing that's called like a real threat and a perceived threat, but all we do is like see things. Is like we can see something in our minds. We immediately think, okay, that's a real threat, even though it could be a perceived threat. But I'll tell you, a spider to me, I don't care if you tell me that's a perceived threat. That freaking thing's a real threat, and I don't care where it's at. I don't care if it's 50 feet away. If you tell me that's a perceived threat, I'm telling you, you're completely wrong, man. That thing, that's going to be a real threat, bro. I can't stand spiders. And of course, so Garrett was actually saying he would love the KFC thing also. That would be fantastic. So hopefully that happens to me one day. And then Brent's saying Ace is scared of Goldberg. I'm not scared of Goldberg, man. It's just a freaking, I don't want to get into the whole Goldberg conversation because he just drives me nuts. And then Nate's saying, I stopped trick-or-treating at 17 and I still have done it 4 times as more often. Christy says she hates spiders too. I'm also scared of bees. Bees aren't so bad because, I don't know, I haven't had a huge problem with bees. I've really had more problems with spiders. But Chris, how about you? What is something that you're scared of?
Ooh. I'd have to agree with the skydiving, but also like bungee jumping. I mean, it looks interesting, but like both of y'all, it's like the height thing, and I'm not too fond of that, but it seems interesting. I don't know.
The skydiving and bungee jumping. I just say I've heard a lot of stories about bungee jumping.
I have too,
and
it's like
but I've jumped off of rocks before. I mean, that's not too bad. Nate's saying that he's done rock climbing, and the Garrett saying good show, guys. Too late for me. I'll catch you later. Okay, so good night, Garrett. Thanks for hopping on and checking the snow. And then Dave is saying snakes. So how are you guys afraid of snakes?
No, not unless they're like deadly.
It's hard for me because there's no snakes in I'm pretty sure there are, but I have like rarely seen any. I have not seen any in California. So if I saw one, I would probably freak, but I'm not sure actually what I would do because I haven't seen one. It's like you see it on the video, then you see it on YouTube and all that stuff, but it's different when you first encounter it. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Like snakes are not. Oh yes, Dave. I do remember that. So Dave is saying, do you remember the snake that charged at me when I was messing with it? I do. So we worked together at one point, and we had this snake that actually got in the garage, and he was trying to get it out, and he was messing with this thing, and he was like trying to shoo it off, and every time he tried to take a stick and poke it and try and shoo it off, man, that thing would turn, and like its fangs would just come out, and he's like, man, this thing's getting mad. It started like lunging, and I'm like, dude, I was like, you're making this thing mad, man. But around here, we don't really have any poisonous snakes. We have like garter snakes, and like I completely forget what they're called, but they're not even poisonous. We don't really have them around here. We don't have the poisonous snakes here. So we don't really have a lot to worry about here. Now, William's saying that he lives in a land of snakes. I believe William lives in Florida, if I remember right. So yeah, so that's definitely
Snakes and what is it, crocodiles or something like that?
Gators. Gators.
Oh yeah, gators. Yeah.
Gators. Yes, gators. Crocs and gators.
I mean, that would not be the only things that scare me in Florida. I mean, the Florida man guys, like, come on, man. Like after hearing some of those stories, like, I probably will never visit Florida in my life.
So Nate, there's bears around here, but there's kind of bears everywhere. Like you can pretty much find bears anywhere. And William's saying Crocs? ? That's a different continent.
Oh yeah.
Chris is like,
I couldn't remember. But, yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, those are like little things that I would say that those are like the common things that we're kind of afraid of. People are afraid of, reptiles and amphibians, whatever. But
we all have that fear, yeah.
What?
I said we all have, a fear.
Oh, absolutely. We all have fears. We have fears that you can't even think of, man. Like just fears, fears in general that you can't even think of. But how about we go to the next one that is an interesting topic here. And Isaiah, I'm glad you kind of wanted to talk about this because we're talking about when you think about movies, okay? And you think about movies that don't have a sequel, what movie would you like to have a sequel for?
So it can't already have a sequel, right? Like you can't say like I want this to have like a number 6 installment or a number 4.
Correct. It can't have a sequel already. It's got to be like a movie that's not a sequel already that you're like, oh, that would be cool to see a second one.
I'm trying to like think because I didn't realize that the rule of this question was that it can't be already have a sequel and you just want it to have another installment. Like I was gonna say, I want to have another Dolphin Tale movie. I want to say
Dolphin Tale? What?
Hey, that's a great movie, man. It's a great movie. I don't know if you've seen it, Ace. Like it's about the dolphin, and they save the dolphin after like it gets its tail cut off, I believe. But yeah, it's a great movie. But go to Chris. Chris, you can go first on this.
I'm still trying to think myself.
Isaiah, you're fine. You want him to have another dolphin tail. That's fine. You want to have another installment of whatever you just said, I guess.
Hey, Alvin and the Chipmunks #5. I mean, I want
They
that.
already made a sequel.
So Dave is actually saying that he would like to have another installment of Jerry Maguire. I would love to see another installment. Maybe in that one, his business could have grown and he could have got some more clients or whatever. I think that Happy Gilmore, that would be another cool one. Wedding Crashers, a sequel to Black Widow, and then Dave was saying that there is a #2, so he must be talking about Dolphin Tail. There must be a #2 because he said there was.
Oh no, I know there's a #2. I wanted to have a #3 because that's how good the first 2 movies were, but I doubt that they're gonna make it happen. But I have a movie that is in mind, but I'm like kind of forgetting like the name of it. It was Ryan Reynolds was in that movie. He was like one of the main stars, and there was another lady too.
Does it matter if it's in production?
No, I mean it doesn't matter, but
because one that they talked about but hasn't been released was like Avatar.
Avatar 2. I mean, yeah, I guess.
How about the Dodgeball movie? I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Who hasn't seen Dodgeball? Dodgeball is amazing. So let me touch on this one really quick because Nate is saying Rudy, like he's talking about Rudy. But the problem is, look, Rudy was a fantastic movie. Okay, that was probably one of the best sports movies that there was out there. But the thing with Rudy though is that Rudy was based on a true story. So because it was based on a true story, it would be a little bit more difficult to make a sequel to it. Like when movies are based on true stories, it's hard to make a sequel unless it happened twice, and then you could. But
or unless you had to continue the story.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it's a little bit more difficult when they're based on those true stories. And then Brandon Herrera saying Ready to Rumble. Yes, I love that movie. Ready to Rumble was fantastic. I would love to see a second one.
Fantastic movie. Oh, by the way, Ace, I did find out the title of that movie I had in mind, and it was the Proposal. The Proposal. Gotcha. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it on a cruise ship, and hey, if they could, it wouldn't really make sense because then it wouldn't be, the proposal. You're bringing it back the same characters with that type of storyline. But I would definitely love to see, a sequel to that movie because I love that movie while I was watching it on a cruise.
Wild Hogs.
Maybe it was Wedding or something. I don't know.
Huh? No,
Wild Hogs was a good movie.
The second one, the original one was awesome. They actually were trying to make a second one, but the second one was canceled, and it was supposed to be like the Bachelor Ride or something like that. It's to where one of them was getting married. It was Dudley, the smallest one. Yeah, he was supposed to be getting married. They were supposed to do like a Bachelor Ride, but I guess the sequel was canceled. And that one would be, I wanted to see a second one. I really did. I was looking forward to seeing a second one of Wild Hogs.
That would have been cool.
So Brandon is asking, but he's saying he's just kidding. He's saying, does adult films count? Well, I don't know. I guess if that's your thing, then I guess if you want a sequel to that, then sure. Then Christy Wilson saying, I want a sequel to Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. I must be the only one who liked that movie. I'm sure there was actually a lot of people who liked it. The Green Lantern. I'm just not really. I don't know a lot about like Marvel and DC and stuff like that because I'm not really big into that, so I don't know a lot about it. But if I watched it, I'll try and watch it, and then Okay, Dave, I'll get to that here soon. And then William Hudson is saying many Saints of Newark 2 would be cool. Dave is saying Step Brothers. Step Brothers 2 would be freaking amazing. I would love to see Step Brothers 2. Nate saying we bought a zoo. Maybe make a second one on that one. Pornhub 2 for Dave Esparza. So he's saying let's go with the Pornhub 2.
Oh my God, Dave's got me. Dave's got me dying out here.
Pornhub 2. Was there any other sequels that you guys would like to see that we're talking about here in general? I know you have some, Isaiah. I know you do. Let me guess.
Yeah, would be another one.
Yeah. Yes,
I don't
Will
think they
Davis
have a
smoking that shanky again. I don't think they do. But yes, William Davis smoking that shanky again. All right, so anyway. Yes, we're always joking about Pornhub. So anyway, it's awesome, right? It's awesome. Well, I'm still here. So you were talking about one there, Isaiah.
Yeah,
You gonna finish?
Zootopia. Zootopia would be, a great movie to have a sequel to, because I think they ended it, they ended the first movie, or the movie, it wasn't really ended the way that, I think me and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there would want it to end. You guys know a lot of these, like how these kid movies typically end, they meet up, they love each other, and then they end up getting married. And I think that, that's kind of the thing that I would probably want to see maybe in the next movie. I don't know. I've heard there were rumors that there may be another movie coming out, but it's been like rumored for like many years. So I don't know if it's actually going to come out. And I would say the other one is Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor would be a good one, but there's
that'd be difficult though.
Yeah, that would be difficult because there's thankfully there's no attack. There's no another attack, but I thought that one was a good plot type of a movie.
So I just got a message from Isaiah. He wanted me to throw this out there of a movie he wanted to see. He said My Little Pony 2. He wants to see My Little, and that came from Isaiah. So I'm just kidding, Isaiah.
If we're going there, let's do Strawberry Shortcake too.
Strawberry Shortcake too. Ready Player One. Have you guys seen Ready Player One?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but
I haven't seen it either, so I don't know. I can't tell you if they should have a sequel to that one or not, because that's actually one movie that I have not seen.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't seen it either.
And Chris, you're saying you've heard it. It's a movie I've heard of, but I can't tell you anything about the movie. Pixels. That was a great movie too. Pixels was great. I would love to see a Pixels 2. And of course that is another one. So we're actually gonna have. I was hoping. You guys think that there? How many of you have seen Pixels? Have either of you seen Pixels?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
What the heck have you been doing, man?
Hey, I told you, I'm a kid at heart. I've been watching all my, amazing kid movies, like, your Incredible, your Toy Story. I've been catching up on those. You got your Star Wars, your what else do we have here? Your Dolphin Tale, your Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Oh, that's another one. The Meatballs.
But they made a second one though.
Oh, never mind that.
I'll tell you the last kids movie I watched before, because back then there was a lot of great Disney movies. Like there was a ton of Disney ones that were fantastic. I loved them back then. The newer ones not so much, but I know my kids, they love to watch like Paw Patrol and Dora the Explorer and different and different shows like that. Now, Christy is also saying you better be watching Star Wars, Isaiah. And I'm telling you, Star Wars is another one. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, I like the older ones though. Like the like I don't know first how many.
I see Isaiah kind of laughing, which probably means that he did not watch Star Wars.
No, I'm laughing because the reason why they're bringing it up and roasting me about it, and the reason why Callan and John Alcorn are always roasting me about it, is because we had we did this trivia on Jackbox, this game, and one of the questions was about Star Wars, and these guys never knew that I never watched Star Wars in my life. And one of the questions was about, that golden figure that is on Star Wars, right? You guys know that. So you were supposed to type in your answer about what you guys thought that was, and they had it on the picture. And since I didn't know, I had not watched Star Wars before, I didn't know what it was, I typed in, that is the Golden Globe Award. And I sent him my answer, and I was so wrong. And to this day, Callan and John have never stopped roasting me about that. In addition to other Star Wars stuff, which we're not gonna bring up because I'm not getting embarrassed enough.
So Dave Kokensparger saying 456. Now, the thing about 456, an interesting thing about it is when you think about it, when Star Wars first came out, they actually released them backwards. So they actually released the 3 older ones first, and then they released the newer ones out, and then they went the first ones after that. So they kind of released them in reverse order, which was kind of interesting. But welcome in our other guest, which is Mr. Mess Around Dave, and he joined at the right time here because we're talking about movies. So Dave, do you have any movies in mind that you would like to see sequels for, whatever?
Well, just the ones I mentioned in the comment section, like Step Brothers would be cool. And Happy Gilmore and Jerry Maguire, I'd really love to see sequels to those ones.
So tell me, how would you do a Happy Gilmore 2? I'm just curious.
I would have him I'd have him pursue his hockey career and get going with that and see if that works, and then he gets hurt and he goes back to golf. I don't know. There's so many different ways you can go.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely could. Happy Gilmore was just amazing. And so, the thing is when you think about it, there's like certain movies that, and I'm not saying that Happy Gilmore would be one if you made a second one, but there's certain movies that they try and make a second one or third one, and it just doesn't pan out well. It's just not good.
And I just have to know, how have you not seen Pixels? How have you not watched that movie? That is a great movie.
Exactly. I don't know how they haven't seen it, but they're sitting there saying they haven't seen it.
Are you guys living under a rock? Jesus.
Isaiah, you're sitting there going, me, but then you're talking about how you've seen Dolphin Tale and movies like that, but you've never seen Pixels?
Never seen it. And maybe we got to have like a movie night on Kicking It with Isaiah and Ace, where we just have a movie and just watch Pixel. Maybe we should do that. I think that would be a great idea. And you guys can catch me up on all the great movies that I've missed throughout my entire childhood.
Because Pixels is definitely a good one that you have to watch. So Dave Kokenspark is saying you can call it Happier Gilmore.
There you go.
And
as long as it's got Ben Stiller in it, is it orderly again? Because he was magic in that movie.
Oh yeah,
go to sleep,
magic.
I will put you to sleep. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of Pixels.
Can I trouble you for a glass of milk? You can trouble me for a warm glass. Shut the hell up.
And so I'm saying, hey Dave. So welcome in, Dave. Now Christy is saying, you got to make sure if you do a second one, though, it's just like Christy's saying, if you do a second one, he has to get beat up by another legendary game show host. So
that's
somebody like Drew Carey,
Carey.
Yeah, he's got to get beat up by Steve Harvey. Gotcha.
There you go. I was trying to.
Yeah.
Thank
Steve
you.
Harvey.
Steve Harvey would be perfect.
Survey says.
Great.
Absolutely, gotta have it. Gotta have it. Steve Harvey has to be that guy.
Yeah.
So Dave,
I was gonna say Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune would be good too.
that would be
That's what I
good too.
thought too.
How about this? Dave Kokensparger saying Vanna White.
Man, oh my.
Maybe both Pat Sajak and Van.
That would be a funny one. Williams actually saying Drew Carey fears Kane. He does. That was an epic time in the Royal Rumble when Drew Carey eliminated himself because he was in the ring with Kane. That was awesome. He tried to bribe Kane with money and then eliminated himself. That was great. That was definitely great. But Isaiah, you have to watch Pixels. You're gonna do it at some point. Chris, you got to watch Pixels, man. You really
I need to watch a little bit more.
When was Pixels released? When was it released?
Pixel?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh boy,
2 years ago. I'm
What,
looking.
like 2008, 9, somewhere in there? Later?
wow.
2015. 2015. 15.
15? Okay, yeah, I thought it was later than that.
Was it? It was.
Yeah.
It was that long ago.
Uh-huh.
I actually thought it was longer, so.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was later too.
Chris is saying Wayne Brady. That would be another one
Wayne
too.
Brady.
Yeah, definitely. Wayne Brady would definitely be another one. So before we end this show, one final question for you, since we're on this topic, Dave. I'll start with you. Let's think of like sequels that were made that you're like never should have been done. They should have stopped at the first one.
Never should have been done, huh? That's
Never.
tough. So many of them.
Yeah, but one that you really think of that you're like, I watched the second one and I'm like, that's so dumb. Why did they even make the second one?
I don't know. I can't. It's so hard. I can't think of any right now. But there's so many of them. Like maybe Fast and the Furious, because I hate the whole thing. They should have stopped it after the first one. For me, it's got to be Fast and the Furious.
They keep going with it. They do. They keep going.
That's what I'm saying.
Chris, how about you?
Of what was the question? I'm sorry.
Just like any type of sequels that they've made that they shouldn't have. That you're like they never should have made a sequel for it. Like they should have stopped.
Oh, only one that, like you guys were saying, Fast and the Furious. That's the one that comes to mind for me.
I'm gonna change mine. Mine for me is gonna be Saw. The Saw. Just stopped after the first one.
So,
With
didn't make too
Jigsaw.
many of those though.
Well,
Not as many as Fast and the Furious.
Well, yeah, but Chris, I see where Dave's going with this, because it's like once you killed that one person, then you thought that person was gone, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, that's not the killer. That wasn't the killer.
Yeah.
Wait, the other guy is, and then that guy dies, and like no, that guy's the killer. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's
Or like
confusing.
Halloween. I think they're making another one.
Halloween is awesome.
No,
You can even throw in the Final Destination movies. One would have been good.
Oh, no, Halloween is awesome. Like I could see any type of Halloween there is. I love Halloween. Welcome in, Big B. So how about you? Any sequels that you thought they shouldn't have made?
Jeez, I think you guys, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scary Movie, Scream, shoot, Dumb and Dumber. They should have just stopped at one there. I mean, but I think you guys named most of them. I mean, so
Yeah. All right.
that's
So-
all I got.
That's all you got. All right. Isaiah, how about you?
I got one that's probably like super controversial, and that is Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. I know a lot of people loved, like they wanted a fourth installment, but for me it was like I wanted the fourth installment too, but when I watched it, I was just like, really, it's not even really connected to the entire story, because when you guys think about, Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, it's kind of like connected, right? Guy is like a kid. He's a kid in the second one. He becomes like a college student in the third one. And then in the fourth one, Andy's not there. You have like a whole different, plot line going on, and I just really didn't like the fourth installment of Toy Story 4. I thought, like, if you're gonna make a fourth one, connect it to the original story.
So, Isaiah, you're that guy. You know what? That's cool, man. You like those Disney movies. That's awesome. I did too when I was younger. Isaiah's just that guy that throws out random things.
Come on, man.
How about Space Jam? Can we throw that one in there?
Oh,
yes,
God.
There you
that's
go.
perfect.
Please.
Well,
I can't believe I didn't think of that. That was the best answer yet.
We can throw in Space Jam 3 because they're making that one. So
What?
we can
But that
throw in
one's supposed to have The Rock in there, so we might give that one a shot.
Oh, yeah. So,
I'm not even gonna watch Space Jam 2.
no, I refuse
No.
to watch it. I refuse to watch Space Jam 2. I won't ever watch it. Because
I might once it comes on Disney Plus when it's free, but I'm not paying for it.
Exactly. I'm not spending my money.
I'm gonna
on
invite Isaiah. I'm gonna invite Isaiah over so him and my son can watch it together with some popcorn and
Do it.
some kitty candy or something. I mean,
maybe. Maybe we'll
I
see.
got one. I got
Uh-huh.
one good one. Any of the Patriots World Championship films before after the first one?
After the
There you go.
They can have the first one, but after that, nope. I don't want to watch any of that.
Well, okay, so if we're going, all right. So you want to go the Patriot? Okay, I'll say any LeBron James highlights after the first one. We can stop after the first one. That would be fantastic.
I got a new movie title. Since we're on this movie kick, how I got myself locked in a trunk.
Oh my
Oh
god!
yes, excellent point. Excellent point.
How does that happen? I want to know.
So Dave, I think you missed.
it.
Yeah, I think you missed it when Isaiah was talking about it. He was saying he was curious if he could fit his whole body in his mom's trunk of her car, and so he decided to get in her car in her trunk, and he locked himself in there and didn't even realize that they weren't home. So
Oh my god!
Dude, you could probably lock yourself in a Beetle trunk as small as you are.
Were you drinking when you had this idea? Because if you were,
No,
it
I
wouldn't
was
make sense.
bored, man. I was bored out of my mind. And what happened was I climbed into the trunk. I curled myself up thinking, hey, let's see if I can fit in there and how it would be if I, just close the door a little bit, close the trunk door down a little bit. I didn't mean to lock it at all. I didn't mean to I didn't slam it or anything like that. I just tried to put it down so it doesn't, latch on and lock the door. But I guess I put too much force in letting it down, and all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I'm stuck in there for an hour and 50 minutes, and I'm asking Ace, like, hey, man, I need something to make myself stay sane because it was dark. I don't even know what was in there because there was something that was making me feel itchy, and I was literally in this position where I'm like this, and I'm like that with my neck, and it was hurting my neck so bad.
He was smoking the shanky.
There you go.
There you go.
What would have
So
been worse if you would've-
Isaiah, who let you out, or how'd you get out?
So I actually called my folks when they were at dinner, and they gave me a big spiel about how stupid I was, and they actually let me out after they came back.
I would have kept you in there.
I would have been like, boy, you got yourself in there. You're gonna wait until we're done with dinner.
Oh yeah, you're not interrupting my meal.
Yeah.
I was letting Ace know I might have to do the show tonight from inside my my parents'
That
trunk.
would have been funny.
and then I would have taken my time, and then I would have been like, well, after dinner, I think we have to go try and catch a flick or something, and then we try and go watch.
Gotta
a
go
movie.
shopping.
Yeah, and William saying your parents must be so proud.
Yeah. What would have been even better is if you were like peed yourself or pooped yourself. That would have made it even better.
Feed yourself or poop yourself.
And Nate,
Oh, Isaiah.
so
we're talking about movies. I was trying to be, our great guy, Bill Nye the Science Guy, out here doing my various experiments.
And Nate saying he keeps accidentally locking himself in the garage, and James Gonzalez is saying, Isaiah, why? And that was my question though too originally, but Isaiah was saying because he wanted to try it. And then Christy Wilson saying, I accidentally forgot my keys one time.
Oh yeah,
so,
we've done that.
yeah. Oh yeah, we've all done that. Yeah. I think at one
I'm gonna
point.
be going back to work. I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Thanks for
later. But anyways, yeah. So we're actually at that point of the show to where it's just about over. So with that, we're gonna thank our special guest for coming on. Obviously, Chris, you've been here. Big B, we caught you at the very tail end of it. But thank you for hopping on. Anyways,
thanks for the 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. So Chris, well, that's what she said, anyways. But anyway, so Chris, when it comes down to it, any final thoughts?
Thank you guys for having me on. Make sure to watch Coast to Coast for a lot of great shows. Four Bros tomorrow night and morning tailgate on Sunday. We got Sports Minute Saturday, and just make sure to tune into Coast to Coast.
Yep, and then of course, so Dave Kokensparger saying people come out of the closet. Now we can actually say people come out of the trunk. So there you go. People come out of the trunk.
Great comment.
And so James Gonzalez saying Bill Nye is rolling over in his grave, and and he knows he's not dead, but he's rolling over in his grave being like, Isaiah experimenting with science. This has not gone so well so far.
Oh.
And then, of course, so Isaiah Williams making a comment saying, you need to watch wrestling and join us on Tuesday Night Mania. That's what he's saying.
I will try to watch wrestling. I did actually watch a couple of clips. I think it was Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. They were going at it. So I have watched wrestling, but yeah, I'm going to try to definitely get into it and see what happens. But it does seem interesting though. But I want to see the guy that I do want to see in the WWE, and I don't know if Ace and Big B and Chris, I don't know if they will agree with me or not, but Conor McGregor, man, we need that guy in the WWE.
Oh my God.
That personality, man, bring it on.
Anyway, with that being said, Isaiah, any final thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in tonight. It was a great show. I'm just so happy to be a part of the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network full time. I'm so happy that I got promoted to a full-time cast member instead of just a replacement guy. Final thought: shout out to my guy Pau Gasol. Great career, happy retirement, future first ballot Hall of Famer.
All right, Big B, any final thoughts for you, sir?
No, I'm glad I got to jump on 5 minutes, roast Isaiah, because that's always a pleasure. Just keep tuning in, and Isaiah, you got a lot of wrestling to watch before you catch up to us old timers. So, Goldberg and Roman Reigns ate just a little bit of it. So, yeah.
So, thank you. Yeah, of course. So with that, let's not forget that tomorrow you can actually catch myself and Isaiah on MI6 Sports Network. Also, we'll be doing another episode of Wild Sports Talk tomorrow. And then on Coast to Coast tomorrow, you have the Four Bros radio show. And Chris, you have your diehard podcast tomorrow, correct? Yes. And then you even have that. And then I believe we have winner tomorrow.
I believe.
I believe we have winner tomorrow also, which is all about fantasy football. So if you really want,
Isaiah should listen.
It's fantasy football and spreads. They give you spreads in every game too. So you can actually catch that right on here tomorrow night too. And so with that, thank you, Crispy Bacon, for all the background stuff that you've been doing. Thank you, Big B, for hopping on. Thank you, Isaiah, my co-host Isaiah. It's a privilege. I'm glad that we started this show. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a pleasure. All right. And then thank you for all of our viewers, of course, for hopping on. And you can actually catch us next week for another episode of Chilling with Isaiah and Ace. So everybody have a great night, and we'll see you later.